start with goal 1.
A year into the decade of action, and the picture is bleak.
Pushing more than 97 million people back into extreme poverty. If we don't take action now to right our course, we risk arriving at 2030 with more than 600 million people living in extreme poverty. Women now hold 26% of seats in national parliaments. But at the current rate of improvement, it will take no fewer than 40 years to achieve gender parity. 1/3 of children globally were unable to access remote learning during COVID lockdowns, and we saw the immediate impact. 101 million children fell below minimum reading proficiency levels in 2020.
To get back on track, the United Nations chief says the multilateral system needs to be rebooted so nations remember the common objectives.
We need to get down to the business of a sustainable and equitable recovery for all so that we stay on track to end poverty by 2030. And this means making bold investments in systems that support human development, from education and universal social protection to healthcare and jobs. It means putting people above profits, including through progressive taxation, and ending tax evasion, money laundering, and illicit financial flows. And it means reforming the global financial system, tackling debt distress, and ensuring that developed countries benefit from the recent allocation of special drawing rights. Third, equal rights for women and girls. We cannot achieve any of the SDGs without gender equality.
The General Assembly President called for renewed political will that leads to action.
Going forward, the gaps in political will and resource commitment remain a common fault line in our resolve to progress the SDGs. This must change. We need to ensure that countries, in particular the LDCs, LLDCs and the SIDS, have access to adequate resources and capacity, support in their efforts to recover from the pandemic and achieve the SDG targets.
The SDG Moment event kicks off the UN General Assembly High-Level Week. The general debate begins on Tuesday. Later in the week, South Africa will lead the 20th anniversary of the Durban World Conference Declaration Against Racism. Namapolani, SABC News.